I can clear my soul of some trauma, pain that it's been carrying, that will lighten that up and lighten me up, I'm going to do it. You best be sure I'm going to do that. Greetings, beautiful woman. Welcome to Starwoven Goddess. I'm Keeraa, and I'm so grateful that you're here joining. If I can clear my soul of some trauma, pain that it's been carrying, that will lighten that up and lighten me up, I'm going to do it. You best be sure I'm going to do that. So, me today. So, I'm very much at the stage of building my business. So, if any of this resonates with you today, please subscribe and also go across to Instagram and follow me and like for more. Okay, so today I want to share with you an experience that I've had, as I thought it might be helpful for others. So today we're going to be talking about the power of a woman's tears and viewing tears as a sacred release and soul alchemy. So how many times have you been taught to hold back tears, to keep them in, to not cause a scene, to be professional, take the emotion out of it? Now, for me, this was a common occurrence. This is what people were saying to me all the time, whether that be friends, family, at work. And people very much view, most people very much view tears as some sort of thing to be ashamed about or embarrassed about, that you don't have control over what's going on. But what if crying was actually a strength, not a weakness? So crying is very much a cleansing process on an emotional level and also on an energetic level too. And I don't know if any of you have seen the work that has been done with water and freezing small samples of water that have been exposed to, well, one sample has been exposed to high frequencies and high energies, maybe a nice image of nature and something harmonious, or the word love, or, just sending it really high vibrational energies. And the other sample has been exposed to lower vibration energies, maybe fear or shame, or the word hate, or an image of, say, war or violence or something like that. And then the two samples get frozen. And in this sample over here, where the love and the high energies were poured into, the structure is actually really intricate and unique and, really sacred, like sacred geometry crystals, and order, and like snowflake like. So that's really beautiful, because it's had the love. And then in this sample over here, you've actually got chaos, fragmentation, a mess, basically. Nothing to report in terms of anything looking intricate or beautiful. And because that was exposed to, the lower vibrational energies. Now, I'm not really here to discuss that today. I just wanted to give you a bit of a background to it. So the point here was that water is extremely powerful and sacred, and it holds memory, because if it can remember what it was exposed to and capture that when it's frozen, it actually holds the memory. So if we think about, our bodies and the water in our bodies and in our cells, that's significant how we speak to ourselves, how we treat ourselves, etc. So if we were to shame ourselves, then that would very much be present in our physiology, in our body. So what if women's tears were viewed and are not a weakness, but actually water blessed with sacred wisdom? And when we cry those tears, we're actually releasing and cleansing on a soul level. So something that the mind might not be able to fully clear, something that's a lot deeper, and it's actually coming from our soul. Have you ever had the situation where out of nowhere you've had something's come over you and you've just had this full release? Now, I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but this happens to me a lot. And I am very much on board with it now. I think I've got so used to it that it's second nature to me. And I know that it is for my benefit. Something needs to come up, something needs to be released. And this is an opportunity to do that. So by surrendering in that moment, I'm really allowing myself to feel what needs to be felt, acknowledge what needs to be acknowledged, and honor what needs to be honored so that it can move through me and move forward. And then I can move forward in a much lighter way, knowing that this has been processed and integrated within, and that I no longer carry that that strain that's not there waiting to come out because it's already been processed. And this is different to emotional volatility because you've actually acknowledged, you feel the point where something's coming up and you have chosen to surrender to that. Now, emotional volatility could be that is more so that your emotions are controlling you. You're acting out of your wounds and you could be quite volatile with that. So this is a bit different, and this is a way to become a master of your emotions. Now, sometimes when this happens to me, I have no idea, first of all, what's coming up, why it's coming up. And sometimes it takes me a little while to actually even tune in and feel what it is that's coming up. But usually within a few minutes, I can feel that it's either grief, shame, guilt, sorrow, something along those lines for me anyway. But because it's sort of coming out of nowhere, it's not related to anything I was doing, I haven't been in any turmoil about something, there seems to be no real correlation to anything that's actually happened in my life, day-to-day life, as to why this might come up. But I just surrender and I just let it be. And I know that it's for my benefit. Now, for me, quite often, it's not just, a tear rolling down my face. It is full body crying, like a child would cry, like I'm making all sorts of noises, I'm shaking, my teeth are chattering. Not that there's anything wrong with the release of the tear, and I'm sure that is beneficial for others and maybe they release in a more gentle way. Mine does tend to be quite intense. However, I now, even when I'm going through something that intense and that uncomfortable and painful, like nobody really wants to be experiencing that. But because I know the benefit and I know that it's needed, there's somewhere in my head I'm thinking, I'm feeling all this stuff going on, my body's going in, but I'm still really grateful for this experience and that it's happening. So that is something that I try not to focus too much on that, because I don't want to take away from what's actually going on for me in that moment. But somewhere in the back, there's this little thank you so much for this opportunity, which is really grateful. And I know a lot of people perhaps don't feel like that. But the more you lean in and allow yourself, I see it as an opportunity, a way to manage and maintain your emotional state and your well-being, then hopefully you could get to that stage too. And if you allow that to happen, something deep, something transformational happens within. So you'll feel lighter. I felt clearer after this, like something that was weighing me down, even though I might not fully know what it is. And often it could be from, say, a previous life. It might not be actually what's happening in that moment or in my current reality. It could be so deep. It could be something that was carried through your ancestral line that you've inherited, and now is an opportunity to process that and to clear that. And when you do that, you're clearing it not only for yourself, but for future generations and for those that came before. And ultimately, you're also helping, by you healing that within you, those clean energies are going out and also supporting healing in in your close community, your family, your friends. But also, if everyone was to do that and it rippled out, it would be healing the collective as well. So much lighter, so grateful for when I have these releases. And I would just encourage you to try this and see how you get on. Now, it could be that your go-to like default is, as soon as you feel something stirring, that I don't want to feel this discomfort, I don't want to feel this pain, it's uncomfortable crying, it's not very nice. I hear you. And I hear what you're saying, and I, agree to some extent. But what if we reframed it? That we're not falling apart, that it's an opportunity to let whatever needs to fall away, fall away. And also, is it that you really feel that uncomfortable about it? Or is it because you've been told time and time again, potentially from childhood, that, well, you've basically been taught that it's not safe to cry, it's not appropriate to cry, strong women don't cry, and all of this bullshit that is not true. It is a natural thing to do, a natural way to cleanse, clear on an emotional and energetic level your being. If I can clear my soul of some trauma, pain that it's been carrying, that will lighten that up and lighten me up, I'm going to do it. You best be sure I'm going to do that. So I just wanted to share this with you, and thought that it might help you with the reframing of how powerful a woman's tears can be. And just going back to the beginning when I said, that transformation within my soul is like alchemy. You're turning pain into joy. So yes, that's what I wanted to share today, and I hope you find that useful. Remember to follow me on Instagram, and I do have a free gift there, actually, a 15-minute goddess activation that is just amazing as a light introduction to start your journey into reconnecting with your goddess self. Keep rising, goddess. The world needs your light. Stay true to you. Until next time.